by all means, have it.
Wait, isn't the music supposed to come next?
Well, we don't have to stop for that.
Oh, right. I was okay. So I can. Da, 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 da. Good morning, my brothers and sisters. On this, our 134th episode of the Good Morning Guys podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine morning, afternoon, evening, or night as we continue discussing the game of life amidst the other games we love to watch and to play. I am one of your hosts, the Brazilian Mountaineer and Transition Ninja, and deep breathing person, Lucas Ham Swisher. Also with me, the judge, jury, and executioner of fake news and squinting, Patrick Novosel.
Good morning.
Morning. On his left and my right, the volleyball and beast of the East who can make you laugh in 3 words or less or your money back, Ronnie Johantis.
Hi.
Hi. And then the final member of the GMG Quadfecta who's got music in his heart, Doctor Who on his brain and La Coretta in his old stomacho, Marc Boucher.
Good day to you, gentlemen.
And a fine day to you.
A little proper there. I like it.
Yeah.
It's okay
Spot
to
of tea.
step things up a little bit.
You have any crumpets?
It's the index finger. No, not the index finger, the pinky finger. How do you hold yours?
Patrick, let's talk about anatomy. This is the pinky. Apparently, we're doing an episode of Barney. All right. Let's go ahead and jump right into the pinky man himself, Patrick. Pinky Patrick.
What?
You earned that one.
What's up, buddy? What is new with you, my friend?
Catch
us up on life.
Yeah, I guess my brain's not working. I got the COVID vaccine yesterday.
Oh, snap. Look out. Hey-oh.
So, yeah, it's the first dose. Nothing. There's no issues. I just got like a sore arm for a day, and that was it. I didn't get tired. No other symptoms, which was really nice. My wife got it too, so we got in about 3 weeks. We'll have our second shot, and then
was it a twofer?
What?
Was it a twofer?
Special.
It's free. So it's
kidding.
It's two for zero.
You both at the same time.
There you go. 2 for nothing. It could be 2 for whatever. I mean, it's a twofer.
Yeah. So we did that. That was good. Over the weekend, Claire's birthday happened. So
hey, happy birthday, Claire! Belated.
Happy belated birthday.
And
better late than never.
Yeah, it's last year she got kind of screwed out of a birthday because it was like right when everything shut down.
Yep.
So this year was a little different. Mel had 7 people maybe from Colorado that had come into town over the weekend because their daughter was touring some local colleges. So they were actually in town for Claire's birthday. So we had a nice little party. When I say little, we had like 40 people.
Just to name a few.
There was a lot of people.
Smattering of people.
And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should have gotten my COVID shot before we do all this, but oh well. So, but we had a good time. Claire had a sleepover with her cousin. They stayed up till like 4 a.m. They kicked me out of my man cave. So I was not gaming on Saturday night.
Did you have no idea what to do? You were just like, where do I put my hands?
I was like, well, I'm just gonna get a bed. I don't know what else to do with my life.
Yeah.
No. I actually, all this Captain or Falcon and Winter Soldier talk. No one is talking about the Mighty Ducks.
Oh,
dude, I want to watch that.
Dude, I watched the first episode and I realized why no one's talking about it.
Oh no! Ouch!
I am sorry, but it's a series. It's not a movie. So, and it's like the first episode's 40 minutes long, and really, they're just like, I don't want to give anything away because it was interesting to see the newness, but it wasn't really exciting by any means.
Was there any quacking at least?
No, there was a joke about it though.
All right,
hey,
the
Mighty Ducks, they
it.
used to quack back in the 90s, and then they get like a weird side eye about it. So it's okay. Let's stick on the movie front. I watched the rest of Love and Monsters.
Yeah,
the movie's good. The movie's really, really good.
Nice.
I think I give the first half a 9 out of 10. Yeah. Second half it kind of the ending was not as good as I wanted it to be.
Oh, okay.
So the second half was like more of a 7 out of 10. I mean, it was still good.
So what's that average out to, math man?
4 out of 5.
Perfect. Love it.
Yeah.
The math
But
checks out. I got my calculator out. It works.
I
you
second
should.
that.
It's good. It's good. It's a good watch. Claire and I really enjoyed that. On the gaming front, dude, I played a lot of games this week though. I played some games with people from the community, some joiners.
Yeah.
I played Avengers with Rogue Hoffa
There you
this
go.
past week.
Hoffa!
Yeah.
Hey-o.
And it's crazy. Like he is like a 4-hour difference. So I started the gaming at like 8 and
gosh,
it
it's
was
midnight.
midnight for him. And I was
Híjole.
like, hey, how many missions do you want to do? He's like, I'll just do a couple. And we ended up doing like 3. It was by the end, it was like 2 a.m. for him. He's like, I gotta go to bed. But by that time, we had finished the Hawkeye operative missions, which was really cool. And I've been playing a ton of that Avengers. I am right now. My goal is to get enough in-game currency to when Black Panther comes out, I can max out his level like right off the bat. Because it's like 4,000 credits, but you also have to buy the battle pass or whatever they call it. And it's like 1,000 credits for that and 5,000 or 4,000 credits to max it out. So I need 5,000 credits. And right now I have 4,400. So I'm going to be doing some daily challenges, some weekly challenges to get up there. Because I think really I want to get all the Black Panther costumes and emotes and all that right off the bat. I don't want to have to wait for this. Because right now the Hawkeye and Kate Bishop, it's okay. I mean, their costumes and things are okay.
What are you talking about? That one costume where she's got a bunch of arrows going through her head?
That's like the level 40, like the
cool?
max level. Like, I'm not big on comic books, so I don't even know what that is. She looks like Hellraiser.
Yeah, she really does.
The old pinhead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's what
but it's arrows just in her head, so I don't understand that one.
I need to Google this.
But yeah, I'm having a good time just doing the challenges, and I'm in the harm room, which is like the training battleground.
Yeah,
and I'm just doing like the easy way. I'm not doing like the going through the missions because the easy way is just the fastest.
Yeah.
And my son comes down, he's like, "Why are you always in training?" I was like, "I'm just doing the challenges. I'm listening to a podcast and I'm doing my challenges." He's like, "Okay, can you just do a mission?" It's like, "All right, I'll do a mission for you, buddy." And then so I played with Rogue Hoffa with Avengers, and then a couple nights ago I played Apex Legends with good old Corey Fouch.
What?
Yes.
Tell me you guys got a win?
We did not. So he's in
you ruined
PC.
It. He was on a roll. I remember him saying like Friday, Saturday he got a win with his dad. I think it was like 2 nights in a row. You ruined it.
We were in some like high level lobbies because it was
really
ugly. It was ugly. But yeah, we didn't end up getting a win there, but we had a good time. Let's see, what else did I do? I started playing this Mario 3D World with Clark. We beat that, so that's another win, another game I beat with Clark this time.
Nice.
I think that's 9 or 10 now for this year so far. And right now, and then we're going back and we're getting all the stars. There's like 250 stars or something like that, or 270, something like that. So we're around 220. So we're getting there. And the last thing I want to talk about with as far as gaming for my week, I was watching Tim Pollen on one of his Twitch streams. And he's like, "You need to stream WWE 2K20." And I was like, "All right, maybe I'll do that." He's like, "If you do that tonight, I will stop my stream. I will raid your stream." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I was like, you know what? I don't have anything else going on. I'm just gonna fire up WWE 2K20, fire up Twitch, and as soon as I turned it on, within like 2 minutes, Tim Pollen was there. And he took his entire community with him. And
Nice.
I was like, "You really?" I thought he was just joking, but no, he was serious. So I replayed the most recent WWE pay-per-view, the Fastlane pay-per-view, and streamed for about an hour and a half, and it was a good time. Everyone's like, "You should do more of this." So maybe I'll start doing that for the pay-per-views going forward.
Yeah, I caught the part where you were beating up on the referee.
Yeah.
You were like, I don't want to jump up on the corner, and then you dropped the elbow on the referee from the ropes, and I'm like, oh, really? You didn't want to do that?
That's
That
not
was
how you win.
So I can't
cold.
remember who it was. Someone was like, I need to see a chair shot. And I was like, well, if I do a chair shot, I'm going to be disqualified and the match is over. So I was like, the only way I can do that is if I knock the ref down. And so he can't see me using the chair. So there's like one of the options in the game is you can choose to select anybody. Normally it's just only the opponent. But if you turn on that toggle, you can actually go after the ref. So I turned that on. So I was able to beat up the ref so I could use a chair shot. And then, yeah, that's not normally what you see. You don't see a top rope elbow drop towards the
on
ref.
the ref.
Yeah. You don't really usually see that.
Seems a little obvious. Obvious targeting.
Yeah. But that was a really good time. So I might start doing that on a monthly basis.
Sweet.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all I got so far.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah. Who's up next? Did you have an order here? Ronnie,
have
are
an
you
order.
next?
I don't know.
I don't know.
If
But
there is an order, if there is an order, I don't know
As
it.
is tradition, we don't know.
As is tradition, I told you, and you still don't know.
I wasn't listening.
Well,
I don't listen
I'm
to
I'm
not
sure I'm
acknowledging.
somewhere in the
General
middle though, so I think we're clear.
Yeah.
Clear.
Go ahead.
As is tradition, go ahead, Ronnie.
So my week was fairly boring outside of this past weekend. This past weekend, it was Elizabeth's birthday.
Yeah, well,
Happy birthday, Elizabeth.
March
So
is the best month ever.
It is. It is a good month. There's a lot of people. But we actually decided she wanted to go out with some friends on Saturday with, I of course had to go. Normally, not exactly my thing. I know there's a lot of people from work, but a lot of people from her work. And I don't know if you guys ever go out with like your spouse, like, and it's like their work people and you're just there. Like they're talking about work the whole time and you're kind of just sitting there smiling, just trying to be like a good human being,
Everything's going over your head. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much a lot of that, but I told her, I was like, all right, I'll go, but I get to bring one person. Like I feel like I was a little kid like negotiating with my mom. So
Nice.
So I got one of my buddies to go with me. So like we, when the work talk started happening, we were just hanging out down there. But we went out to a brewery here that's in Milford. It's called Little Miami Brewery. I have been to it, but it's been like a couple of years, and I don't really drink beer. That may be a shock, I think, to some people. Maybe I seem like the kind of guy that does drink beer, but it's not for me at all. I like. I spent a couple of years not drinking it, and now like going back to it, I think I had 3 beers while we were there for a few hours, and I was like bloated. Like I was like, man, I need a nap. Like I got to get home and get a nap in here. Like
That'll do that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, for sure.
So when we left, we just ended up walking around like a few little shops and stuff, and there was an ice cream shop, so of course we had to stop and get ice cream. That's just the way it was. It's actually pretty interesting because in the ice cream shop, like I'm looking at their board and I don't pay very close attention to anything, but it said chocolate chip cookie dough. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have the chocolate chip cookie dough. She's like, and what else? And I was like, I just want that in like vanilla. I don't know.
What do you mean? And what else?
Yeah. She's like, well, it's just cookie dough. I'm like, okay. Like with vanilla, I'll take it with vanilla ice cream. And they looked at me kind of weird. And the other girl's like, well, you could do that. You could just put it on like you could just put a scoop of vanilla in there. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is going to be good.
What is
so?
Okay,
so I get it in a waffle cone and they hand it to me. And it's basically just soft serve vanilla ice cream on top of the cone. And I didn't realize until I was down the street that the entire waffle cone was filled with just cookie dough and no ice cream. Like that's what they meant when they said it. And of course, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
was delightful.
Straight up cookie dough is amazing.
It was a waffle cone filled with cookie dough. Like it was awesome. But that only made me need a nap even more, of course.
Of course.
So that's pretty much all we did. We ended up going home shortly after that. And
Wait. Sorry. I got to interrupt. I don't understand. Like ice cream and cookie dough mixed together, is that not a thing anymore? Did they change it?
I guess this is just one of those places that like makes everything like they have all the ingredients. Like they don't have anything like pre-made. So I kind of thought that it was going to be like one of those like,
Like
if
a
you guys
blizzard?
have ever been to
or-
like there's a creamery or like on the slab where they put cookie dough and chocolate chips and then they mix it all in the ice cream and then give it to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I thought it was like that. Apparently it was not like that.
You
They
stumped them.
Yeah.
I
I was
want the
thinking to
cookie dough.
myself
What is
afterwards when I
this
realized there was just cookie dough in there. I'm like, I cannot be the only person that's ever asked for this. This is a common ice cream nowadays, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a long time now.
But honestly, it was actually really good. Like there's nothing
Okay.
better than just like soft serve vanilla ice cream and then a bunch of cookie dough after that.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
I'll go back and I'll order the same thing probably.
And they'll still look at you just as weird.
I'll be like, no, I've been here before. They did it.
Yeah. I'll take the regular.
Yeah, I'll act
Yeah.
like I come in there all the time. Like, no, we're here all the time. But it was really good. And then on Sunday we had a few people come over and we played like cards and stuff like that. And it was really fun. But everybody had to work on Monday, so they left like at 9:00, which turns out that's exactly when you should have people over your house is on Sunday, so that everybody leaves at 9:00. It was unbelievable how we set
Yeah.
this up because we both took all day like off today. And because Sunday was actually her birthday, the 28th. And today I was in for a real treat, which was she wanted to go buy some plants. And that meant we were going to a few shops with
Excitement
plants.
City.
No.
And honestly, it's like, you know what? I will do this and I will be happy about it, But I don't know like what I'm looking for. She's like, what do you think this looks like a good one? And I'm like, I mean,
Looks
yeah,
nice and green.
that looks green. It looks greener than the other one, I don't know what you're looking for in these style plants, but I was just the shop cart pusher guy. That's pretty much.
There you go.
You
Do
know.
what you do best.
She's like, you think I should get one of these? I'm like, yeah, I do think you should.
Did you
I
at
think you
least
should
like
get
space
one.
it out? Like every 2 responses or 3 responses of like, I don't know. Or,
She'd be like,
maybe.
which one do you think between these two? I'm like, let's just get them both. Let's just get them both, and we'll move on to the next.
That's a
plant.
pro move right there.
Yeah, I'm willing to pay more
Just
if I can
remove
get out of
the
here.
decision
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, see, I get this.
Not
I
beat
get the
around the bush
side eye.
anymore.
I get the side eye when I say both. I'm like, no, I really want to know. And I'm like, I really don't care.
I don't.
Oh, that's when you don't
No,
wanna
I
go
don't
down
say that.
road.
I'm not that stupid. I'm just saying it right now because she's not around. Wait.
That when
No,
when I'm
she's not
thinking
behind me.
that
Okay.
like when I'm
Dive
thinking
bomb
that
you.
though, I just always say whatever fires you up. Like just whatever fires you up, babe. Like you just get that one. Well, I'm not sure about these two. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be rough. This is gonna be a rough
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
So she got them all. She got a bunch of plants, probably
You
like
got all of them.
She got all the plants.
pretty
It's
much.
like,
I own
literally-
3 plant shops now.
It's like the Garden of Eden.
You walk
Their
in there.
house.
You know what? We're just gonna take it all.
Or take all of it, please.
Has anybody seen Ronnie?
whole
He's been lost
forest.
for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's over in the plants.
He's in the forest.
He's watering
Swamp
plants every
Thing.
day. No, but I mean, she's like, what? Oh, like, what do you want me to grow? Do you want like strawberries? And I'm like, whatever, whatever you want to grow. Like, I'll eat anything, just whatever it is. What do you want? Like, what do you want? What will make you happier? We'll get that. So it's kind of we've all been there. It's an impossible position to be in, not knowing about something and not really caring what you get, just as long as it makes them happy. You just have to you put in the
Yeah.
time, and sometimes you ask questions like just to seem like you're there still.
You got to make sure, like when it comes home and she puts it up, you're like, oh, that looks good there. I like
Yeah.
that there.
Yeah, no, I felt like an adult man today. Like the last place
Yeah.
we went was Home Depot's garden shop, and when we were in there, I was like, yeah, we need to pick up some furnace filters also over here. That's the only thing I got. Like that's it.
When you said that you had to to replace your furnace filter. I was
Mhm.
like, I got to do the same thing.
Yeah, I haven't replaced mine in forever.
Yeah.
So I bought a bunch of backup ones, but that was pretty much it. Like we got home and like I helped her carry all the stuff like out back so she could like plant like pot and plant like everything she got. And I was like, all right, are you good or do you need help? And she's like, no, I think I'm good. And she was out there for a couple of hours just putting everything in pots and I was playing Rocket League.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like waiting. I was like, man, whenever I can get to the couch today, I don't care what I'm doing from the couch, but I just need to get there.
Oh yeah, especially after the shopping that you just did.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first weekend in a long time that we haven't just had like a day where we do absolutely nothing for the whole day. So I was exhausted all weekend.
Yeah.
I think on Saturday I went to bed at like 10:30, which is bizarro. That never happens. That doesn't happen when I have to work the next day. And I slept till almost noon the next day.
Oh my gosh.
More than 12 hours.
That's like
Dang,
college
dude.
days.
Yeah. Yep. But no, that was it. That was it for me this weekend. I didn't really
All right.
play any extra games. I think I watched Endgame twice. It's been on TV. So that's about it.
Not a bad watch.
There you go.
Sweet.
See, now that I've been in, like, now I don't know who goes next. Like, there's somebody should go last. I feel like
Lucas
Like, that's the
will go
thing.
next.
Lucas will go next. So
Mark
needs
is
to go
last, and
Yep.
I'm going.
Mhm.
Yep. But before Mark goes, I'm gonna go. So,
enough.
yep. Like Claire, like Elizabeth, I too celebrated a birthday this past week, and not only did I celebrate a birthday, but my daughter also celebrated a birthday. Hey-oh! Happy birthday!
Wait, what? Mark, did you just do that with your fingers? That sounded like you had a kazoo in your hand.
I'm a
He's got
magician.
magic fingers like
Are you a
Grogu.
wizard?
Yeah. do that magic hand thing. All right. So did this I pretty much just had a well, let me just jump right out and say it. Did anybody watch Yes Day this past week?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. So
Nope.
or I guess
Yes
recently.
Day?
Yeah.
Yes Day. So
Nope, obviously not.
depending on if you're a kid and depending on what type of parent you are, this movie could either bring you pure joy or stress the crap out of you. I will have to say that it stressed the crap out of my wife.
So give a little premise of what this movie is.
So here's the premise is that you have a couple that when they met and throughout their romantic beginnings and into their marriage before they had kids, they were like yes people. Like they would say yes to adventure, yes to taking a break from work, yes to trying something new, yes, 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 yes. And then they had kids and they discovered that they needed to say no a lot or their kids were going to get electrocuted or hurt or whatever. And so they kind of, at the beginning of the movie, they set up this premise that these parents have kind of become no people. And it pretty much comes to light that they need to have what's called a yes day, where they tell their kids yes to everything for 24 hours or to an allotted time. And it's just pretty much about like what the kids learn about the parents, what the parents learn about themselves, what they're reminded of about the way they used to be and what they want to be as parents and all that stuff. And pretty much that's the premise. And we watched this with our kids. And of course, our kids were like, we want a yes day. And of course, Mindy was immediately like, over my dead body. And I was somewhere in the middle where it's like, we can do a form of a yes day, but we cannot do XYZ. Because what are you going to say?
Now, the kids both said the same thing. They're like, when are we going to have a yes day? And I looked at them straight in the eyes and I was like, guys, we've had 2 of them already. They're like, what do you mean? I was like, do you remember those 2 weekends that mommy was out of town and you asked for something and you got it? They're like, oh yeah, we did have yes days. But it was more like, I don't see why not kind of days. Like,
Right.
hey, can we go do this? Yeah, sure, why not?
And
I
it
don't see
wasn't
why
like
not.
it's not like you set up the weekend like you ask me whatever you want and I'll give it to you. Like
They were like,
that's
hey, can we go to Target? Yeah. Can we get some McDonald's for dinner? Yeah.
So the key is to not tell them when it's a yes day.
Exactly. That is the key. You catch them off guard and they're not going to do the crazy stuff that these kids in this movie, I think they have 2 weeks to plan their yes day. and they planned some crazy stuff. One of the worst things I thought from it, and this is spoilers, if you want to be completely surprised by this movie, skip ahead 30 seconds. At one point, they go to a car wash, and they start the car wash, and as soon as the car wash gets started, it's like an automated one that kind of like drags your car through it. The kids immediately tell the parents, roll down all the windows.
Oh my gosh.
And put on the scuba gear. And the parents, of course, because it's a yes day and they feel obliged, they say yes, and they roll down the windows and the whole inside of the car is soaking wet. And of course, by a miracle of miracle, they leave and it's like all of a sudden dry within 5 minutes. That is pure malarkey. That is
no parents doing that.
Nope.
That would
Not real life.
ruin the inside of a car. And I'm like, nope, I'm done. It's already over before it started. But yeah, that was like an example of like where I'm like, nope, I'm like, what's his name? Tracy Morgan in that GIF where he's just like, no. He's just like shaking. Heck, no. Yeah, that's me. But I did appreciate that because both before we watched the movie and after, I got a light version of that a yes day because I celebrated my birthday on Tuesday, and pretty much like I got whatever meal I wanted throughout the day. And then my wife, it like, I don't know if it was planned moments, but she would constantly come up to me. Was like, is there anything I can get for you? Do for you? Do you need anything? You know, how you doing? You want a drink? You know, and she did that most of the day. The kids were like, Daddy, let's play. Let's do this or that. That sometimes they just let me do whatever. And I just did whatever. Sometimes I played Rocket League. Sometimes I just sat around. It was a real chill day.
Mm-hmm.
And then today we did the same thing for Natasha. We gave her a yes day. And, you know, we had donuts for breakfast. We had pizza for lunch. And then we had sushi for dinner and milkshakes as well after the sushi, which was a little weird, but I love sushi and I love milkshakes. So it worked out. My daughter's tummy
like
said,
your stomach would be gurgling.
My tummy got a little full, but it wasn't gurgling. But my daughter definitely said at the end, she's like, I need some medicine. So got her some Pepto-Bismol and sent her to bed.
Well, Lucas, give yours some time.
Yeah. No, I think I'll be all right. I have a pretty iron stomach, but we'll see.
Okay.
It's been 2 or 3 hours, so we're good. We're golden. But yeah, so it was fun. We pretty much, like, for Tasha and I, the way to our heart is through food, is through our stomachs. So I don't even care about presents anymore. Like, a friend of mine gave me some money and I bought some games and, did a little stuff like that with it. But for the most part, I just like food and relaxing, playing games, hanging out with my kids, my family. It was good. So it was a good week.
I could ship you guys some cookie dough. I know a guy.
Oh, man. No doubt.
Get it in a waffle cone.
I will accept that fantastic cookie dough. Sometimes we just make cookie dough, Mindy and I, and just put it in a bowl and eat it raw.
Yeah, that's way better.
I can't. I can't do that.
Oh man, I could lather myself in cookie dough.
Mainly,
I don't know if I go that far, but
obviously you haven't died, but like, I feel like the warning on the thing that says "Do not consume raw cookie dough." Like,
that's just to cover their butts.
Basically,
it's just to cover their butts from the lawyers if something happens.
Yeah, don't eat it like the whole roll. Like, if you're having like a small amounts, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, nobody does that though.
In a whole roll. Oof.
Oh, that would be a lot. I
would need some of Lucas's medicine after that.
Yeah, you need some of the Swisher medicine. Oh man. Other than that, let's see. I did have a bet with my son, an impromptu bet where he said, "Dad, I want to bet that running is not healthy." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Running is not good for you. It has no benefit." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You want to bet?" And I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "If I win, what's going to happen?" I'm like, I don't know.
I've never been rooting for somebody more than Lucas's son right now.
I'm like, "You call whatever you want, son." He's like, you do my laundry for 2 weeks. And if I'm wrong, you'll do my laundry for 2 weeks. And I'm like, "Well, how are we going to decide if running is healthy?" Because I'm like, depending on who you ask. He's like, "Well, just Google it." I'm like, "Okay." He Googled it, and the Google machine doesn't lie. Running is good for you. It helps your heart. And he's like, "What? My friends are such liars. And I'm like, your friends told you that? That running is not good for you. So
You need to find some new friends.
And your friends have access to Google.
yeah, apparently they don't know how to use it. So now my son's doing my laundry for the next 2 weeks. That's I'm holding him to it too. He's definitely doing my laundry. He already did it once this weekend. It was fun. From there, let's see. Got into some fun gaming. Took a let's see. What did I write down here? My notes. Let me check my notes here. Trying to understand my typing, but it doesn't make any sense. I played a lot of Rocket League with my kids. My kids are still head over heels. We played through 2 seasons of Rocket League. I don't know if you guys know you can do this. It's really good when you have like a mixed bag of skills between people. So like for me, I'm pretty decent. For my son, he's a good defender, but not a good anything else. And then my daughter is like chicken with a header cut off, just running around the field like madness. So we can't play too much online. And so we default to playing seasons against the bots. And we played our first season this past week. We got to the playoffs. First round of the playoffs, we lose in overtime. I miss the winning goal.
No.
And I'm so ticked because here's what happened is at most of the points we're playing like lower level bots. So I'm like, I'll just be goalie. You kids go and score. Well, we get to the end and it's like 1-1. And I'm like, dang, I got to score or we're just going to just string this thing out for way too long. So I leave the goal to go score the goal. I hit off the post. It bounces to the other side of the field and they win in overtime.
No.
Stupid bots. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So we take a day to cool off. James and I were definitely angry. Tasha was just like, oh, well, and just moves on. And we start our next season. And I kid you not, 5-1, we win. 6-1, we win. 8-1, we beat the bots in the game. We get to the season in championship, destroyed them. Got the championship. We bounced back so fast they did not even see us coming. It was awesome. And
when you were winning by that many points each game, were you on offense or were your kids?
So we did a better job at mixing it up. Like whoever was furthest from the ball, they were the goalie for that possession until someone scored. And then honestly, all of us improved. Like even I improved in some of my like just aim small, miss small, not allowing, low competition to make me play at a low level. So we were all rolling with it. It was really good. Tasha got a lot better. James is a much better defender and getting more confident. So it was good. It was good fun with the kids. And so beyond that with Rocket League, I did get, I finally got a Fennec, which Ronnie failed to bring up that he got an extra one after he paid $25 for one. Surprised he didn't bring that up. Maybe it's too fresh of a wound.
I didn't bring that up. That's for sure. Of course, I get one out of a random drop after I spend the money for one.
Oh, I just can't imagine how you felt when that just popped up. You're like, what?
It was after a few consecutive losses in a row too, where we were already kind of upset.
Yeah.
Of course, that was my gift after those. Like, here you go, smack right across the face.
Why don't we just rub some salt in that wound? Yeah, I mean, I get mad when I get like my daughter even noticed this week. She's like, they give you repeat items? That's rude. Just like getting all angry. Yeah, welcome to video games. And so, so I got that Fennec from Eric, who got it from Ronnie. So that was fun. And then Eric even gave me some goal explosions and stuff to give to my kids. And I discovered you cannot trade items on the same console. So now I have to find someone to trade the stuff to then trade it to my kids, who I have to do two-factor authentication.
Yeah.
For my kids in the Epic website. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Just let me trade the stuff with my family. It's stupid, but it is what it is. I get to use it for now. So it's a bunch of cool little goal explosions. My kids are like, when can we have that, Dad? I'm like, soon. I'll get with you.
Go away.
Go away. Let me score so I can watch this goal explosion. Yeah. So besides that, the other cool thing that I did was I loaded up a new game for me, old game for the show. A fun little bullet hell game called Enter the Gungeon.
Hey.
Ooh.
Hey. So far, it definitely gives me like top-down Dead Cells with guns kind of feel, and I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I've done a couple runs. I've only gotten to, I think my best run was the first one where I got to the end of the second chamber and faced off against the Beholster, and he lit me up and took me to the woodshed with his laser beam cannon that I did not. I thought it was going to stop, and it didn't, and it just
You could roll through
obliterated
that.
me. You can, and I'm still mastering the roll because it only covers you for the first half of the roll, and then the second half you get lit up if you're not in the right spot, and I was not in the right spot. But it's fun. I'm pretty much shooting and breaking everything. Like, I don't know if you went through this, Ronnie. I felt like all the little pots and the books and stuff should have like little.
Yeah, they have nothing.
And they have nothing. So I
None
like
of
the first run, I'm like rolling through all the stuff in a room before I leave it, and I'm like, well, it didn't give me anything. Where's the loot? And so
yeah, it's literally
that
there
was
for
funny.
no reason.
But yeah, I got killed by the Beholster. The second time I got killed by some purple robe floating wizard guy that had no life bar, and I just kept shooting him and he wouldn't die. It was really annoying. But I did kill the Gatling gull, which looks like a pigeon with big muscles.
Yeah, there's actually there's like a secondary item you can get, and it is the Gatling gull, and you can summon him to fight with you.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Wait.
It is a good one.
I did want to ask, for a noob like me, Ronnie, do you have any tips for me to get better, get good, as it were?
Honestly, that game it's a combination of things. Like when you're on a good run, like you have to have a good gun.
Right.
And one of the things you do is if you get a good gun, you actually like toggle back. There's a way you can set like two guns to where you can cycle back and forth.
Right.
And you'll want to use like, if you go into a room, and there's two like regular bullet guys, you probably just want to switch to your like standard gun and save all your ammo. Yeah. But honestly, like a lot of it is luck, like the stuff that you actually get.
Luck, and
you can start unlocking things. Once you start unlocking things, and you can get like better guns and stuff like that. So like from the home screen there, like you can go to like those vendors and stuff and like actually buy and unlock that stuff. I didn't know that for the longest time, but it allows those guns then to be in circulation.
Okay, cool. I've only used the Marine so far. I haven't tried out the other characters, but again,
I think the Marine is the best one.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, the little, I think it's a blonde haired one. They actually have a decent like shotgun.
Yeah.
But that Marine gun is still the best gun.
Okay.
I think hands down.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah. So I'm digging into the Gungeon. So it's gonna probably enter like every day I'll try to do a run just to go with it, because it's kind of not a game that I could really get myself in just playing over and over and be like, okay, just one more run, see what happens. I don't want to do that. Besides that, I think that's it. So I'm gonna just give a little handoff here to what order are we doing this in again? Who's
I'm supposed to go again.
Sure.
Ronnie's
is
next.
it Ronnie? Back to Ronnie. We're doing like round robin.
And then I'll switch it back to
twice.
Patrick.
He jukes left, he jukes right.
Yeah, there it is.
But before Ronnie goes,
Marcus,
why don't you go?
you go ahead.
I'll take it. Yeah, so this wasn't like a super eventful week, but a couple of things of note. First off, a PSA from the Good Morning Guys podcast.
Ooh,
If you have a spouse, make it a regular occurrence. If not every week, maybe every other week, or maybe once a month. But make it somewhat of a regular occurrence. Take your spouse out on a date night. Kristen and I hadn't done something like this in quite a while, and so it was like, we need to do this. So I think it was last Wednesday where this rare occurrence where I didn't have worship team practice. And so I was home, and she gets off early that day. So I'm like, let's go ahead and go out on a date night kind of thing. And so we went to a place here in downtown Lynchburg called Bootleggers. Bootleggers is like a slightly more upscale burger restaurant. And it's called Bootleggers because it's themed around like moonshiners and like bootleggers, that kind of thing. And like all the wall art and things like that are like a bunch of like old Southern bootlegger kind of looking people. But it's basically like burgers and sandwiches and things like that, but like a lot more, like I said, upscale than like a typical fast food joint kind of thing. So the food's great. Sat down. I actually had, I had one of their turkey burgers, which generally, like, I don't mind turkey burgers, but this was actually really good. I think it's probably the best turkey burger I have ever had. Yeah, we had a date night there and enjoyed food. Nice thing about the downtown area is there's like this long brick path that you can just walk along. So after having, a nice hearty dinner, you can walk it off and go for a stroll. So I walked with Kristen for a while and
Nice.
explored and things like that. And so it was definitely a good thing to be able to do that. I really want to try to make that a thing again, because we used to do that, and then COVID hit, and things just kind of fell by the wayside. And we'd do stuff together, but it wasn't like a going out places kind of thing. And so now restaurants here at least have been back open again for a while, but I really want to try to make it a thing to do like every week, if not every week, every other week, something like that. So definitely make that an occurrence with your spouse to keep things healthy in your relationship. So this message from the Good Morning Guys podcast. Yeah, very much enjoyed that. On the gaming side of things, I finally beat The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time on
Congratulations, man.
Hey-o.
Interestingly enough, and I was actually talking with Lucas about this before we started the show, I think this is actually the first time, and this is really sad because this is my favorite game, but this is the first time I think I have played it through from start to finish on my own.
So before this, I was actually the only real Ocarina of Time fan,
Apparently.
because I had beaten it back in 2009.
Yeah. So the reason I say that
Good job,
is
friend.
because thank you, is because I had played through the bulk of it, but I never played it to like on my own game. I never played it to completion. I ended up like borrowing somebody else's game, and I went and played the ending level. But I had never gone through and done it like start to finish on my own, because like I think I had played the bulk of it and then stopped, and then on somebody else's file at a completely different time I had played the ending. So but yeah, this is the first time start to finish in the span of a month. I beat Ocarina of Time, and
Nice.
I still absolutely love this game, although I will say things about it have not aged well. Mainly, I mean, obviously, the graphics are very early N64 3D polygonal graphics. So obviously not perfect. But the main issue is the controls. Trying to do precise aim with that, and I don't know, maybe part of it was the Wii U gamepad that I was using, but yeah, trying to aim like arrows and things like that was a nightmare. To the point where like there's a boss that I had to go up against that like you have to aim with your shield, and they shoot like an energy blast, and there's two different types of enemies that make up this boss, and you have to aim the beam, and you have it's like a mirror shield, and you have to aim that beam at the other enemy, and trying to precisely aim it was horrible. and the same thing for Ganondorf, the final boss, trying to shoot light arrows at him. Precise aim. Oh my gosh. But and the camera, early days of 3D camera movement. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a battle in and of itself.
I would get lost in a wall many times.
That's how you do speed runs. Get lost in the wall, and then it zips you to the other side.
Yeah, except it didn't work.
Man.
You
It's
just
a bummer.
get lost, period. At least those guys know when and where to do it, and it actually does what they want it to do.
Yeah.
But overall, still, I absolutely love the story. And just there's so many things that I have nostalgia for about that game. So it was definitely a great experience to be able to go through that whole game and to be able to do it with our joiners, cheering me on and experiencing it with me. So
Nice.
super excited about that. Also played some Apex last night with we played with I played with Pat and Corey Fouch for a little bit, and then I played with Pat and Chris McCracken, and we got a win there.
Yeah.
And then we played with our buddy Justin and proceeded to get 3 wins in a row.
Yeah, we did.
The trifecta.
Which
Nice.
does not, for me at least, does not happen. So that was super nice to be kind of like literally at the top of our game. It's just everything was just clicking, and so that was definitely awesome.
Yeah, and a lot of that was we didn't have to run towards the circle. There were 3 straight games where we landed from the dropship, and we did not need to go anywhere. We had the loot that we needed for the place that we dropped, and we didn't need to go anywhere. We just kept our position.
Wow.
And position is huge for Apex. So having that position for 3 straight games was, like we should have won those games, and we did. And it felt really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was definitely a great time. And real quick, and that's pretty much my update, but I really want to mention now that this month's GMG Got 'em is up, we're coming into April, and officially want to announce that I think I talked about it last week, but we've solidified more what I'm doing for next month, which is we are officially doing GMG VR month.
Right.
Nice.
So yeah, we're doing a whole month of VR games. I'm making use of the Oculus Quest 2 that I just got.
It's really a missed opportunity. If you would have done a PSVR, you could have been like, "It's GMG Ridge Racer." That would have been awesome.
Racer. Yeah, so we'll be doing a different VR game each week, Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. The games are Super Hot VR.
Super hot.
Hot.
Yes. Star Wars Vader Immortal.
Vader Immortal.
One that I had never heard of until this week, but apparently is a very popular game, is called Population 1. And it is
Population 1.
And that is a VR Battle Royale game.
How in the world does that work with one person?
Well,
There's only one dude here. You're fighting yourself.
You win. You drop, you win.
Yeah, you drop yourself, you win.
and we're
You just
done.
punch yourself over and over. Watch this,
No,
guys.
obviously there's other people.
It's a
playing.
game to keep your spirits up.
That sounds like it.
No, obviously
hey.
there's other people in the lobby.
So it's just a population of 1, then it's over. That's really depressing.
Well, the point is to be the Population 1 at the end of the game.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm interested in trying a VR Battle Royale game.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna suck at it hardcore, but it's all good. And finally, can't do VR without Beat Saber.
Beat Saber.
You guys should just do all the VR games from now
Actually, you should have done the Saber one with a Sean Connery voice.
Beat
I like the Shaber. The Shaber.
So yeah, we'll be doing, like I said, one VR game each week. Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern at the GMG Twitch channel.
Yeah.
So, but that is it for me. And unfortunately, I am not a transition ninja, so I do not have an easy transition. But, so we have talked about elementary school. We've talked about middle school.
We have like a long time ago.
Yeah, we've talked about college. We just skipped high school altogether.
Yep.
And I've tried actually at several points to say, okay, we're doing this. And it's like, nope, we actually have
Shot
this
down. Clay pigeon. Pew, pew.
So finally, it is time. We are talking about...
We were merely freshmen.
We're talking about our high school days.
Yeah.
So, first off, I want to go ahead and just open us up with a joiner comment. And I'm going to pull up our Discord here.
Do it.
And first off, Twisty Beard, and I knew there would be at least one. That was like, I was homeschooled, LOL. I'll see myself out. Okay.
Oh. Yep.
Well,
Good for you, Twisty Beard. You were spared from being corrupted, and you actually had a good education, probably, compared
That's
to the
true.
rest of us.
Probably.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
No, but Tim Pollen over on the Discord, Mr. Captain Bacon himself.
Hey, Baconator. I'll be bacon.
I'll be crispy.
I'll be back. I'll be back in bacon. No.
I'll be backing.
I'll be backing.
I'll be backing.
Scottish. I'll be backing.
After I play my Rocket League, and I'll be backing.
Yes. All right, continue on.
That sounds more Swedish than.
Yeah.
I'll be bacon.
Swedish.
Yeah, Tim Pollen says the only highlight that I'd like to relive is winning the Iowa State High School football championships my junior and senior years.
Ooh, nice.
Back to back?
Undefeated. Back to
Back
Whoa.
champs. That is awesome, man.
For a small community, it was quite a rush. I'd love to tell you that we were talented, but it was all coaching. Our head coach later went on to being a small college and arena football coach.
All right.
Nice.
Nice. Our high school actually only went to the state championship one time. It was my freshman year, I think. It was like 15 degrees outside. It was freezing, and we got destroyed. We had no business going to the championship. We just had a really good quarterback. We had some lucky games, and it was not fun. But I mean, it was cool to go to the game, but we really got demoralized. They took us to the woodshed, as Ronnie would say. It was bad. But,
Yeah, the football team back when I was in high school, we were like ranked like in the top 3, top 5 in the nation
of the town.
in the
Oh, okay.
nation. And so we were going to
Wow.
state every year. They didn't win state until like 2 years after I graduated high school, but they were in at the thick of it through my entire high school
Nice.
career, and it was awesome to go to games because they were just so good, like winning like 50-7 kind of games. They were really really good.
Smoke.
You know, like then you were talking about 15 degrees. There was one time we were at a playoff game, and it was down at Paul Brown Stadium, down at the Cincinnati Bengals Stadium, and me and 4 other guys did not have shirts on,
Nice.
and it was like sub 30 degrees.
Ugh, that sounds awful.
My senior
was-
football team won one game, and we were ecstatic.
Woo! Yeah, money in the bank right there.
Best bus ride home ever.
We've won. We're not the biggest losers.
Yeah, our school was not known for our football team at all. We have one, but not known for that.
That's funny. We have one. They play.
We have a team.
Yeah.
It didn't exist until 1993, 94. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, we
Oh,
were
yeah.
very much late to the game.
Those are
Yeah.
great football teams to watch. My wife, one of the high schools she's taught at, I think they started in her second year, they started a football team, and it was so It was so bad that like the quarterback was also the kicker, the snapper was also the I don't know, like a lineman. Like half the guys were playing offense and defense and special teams. It was bad. Like the
That's some
linemen
Iron
looked
Man
like
football.
sticks. Oh, but they did not look like Iron Men. They looked like this was like the Little Giants, the Bad News Bears football edition.
They were cardboard men.
Oh, it was so sad. I was laughing so hard. I felt bad.
Okay, so high school mascots. What was your high school's mascot?
Cardinals.
Ours
The
was
Rockets.
the Rockets, like Rocket the raccoon.
Yep.
That would have been awesome
That
if
would've
that
been
was
awesome.
your mascot. If that was
Except it was-
a raccoon.
except
We were the
our
Marvel
logo was-
Rockets.
Our logo was the exactly the Toledo College logo. Like that's
Oh,
exactly
really?
ours.
You just
Yeah.
grabbed
You know
it
what
and changed
That's
the
pretty
color.
much exactly what it was. Yeah.
That's funny.
Ours
were
was
actually,
the same as Louisville Cardinals, except our beak was white. It was not yellow.
That's how they got them.
a
Yep.
white beak. Would they bleach it?
We actually did
That's-
have a giant rocket mascot, and like I don't need to explain what that looked like, but it did make everything a lot more funny.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why you were a 1-0, like one in everything else team.
We were a joke across the board, not just on the field.
At least you were consistent.
Yeah. Our mascot was actually Cincinnati's own Bearcats, an animal that is natural in Europe and not in where we're
Have you seen a Bearcat? They do not look like menacing
ugly.
at all.
Yeah, they don't look
Ugly.
like what they look like on the jerseys.
Yeah,
Not at
it
all.
is
It's a cougar.
animated.
It's usually a cougar or a puma is what the Bearcat is depicted as in like sports. But yeah, we're the Bearcats. Grafton Bearcats.
Mm.
What about you, Mark?
Well, my high school was Alvern High School in Hudson, New Hampshire, and their mascot is the Broncos.
All right.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. School colors.
Red and black.
That's good. I like that.
Our school
The-
colors are exactly the colors of the GMG.
Nice.
No
like
way.
it is blue and yellow, like that same bright blue and yellow.
My
Nice.
high school was also blue and yellow.
Oh.
That's why.
Yeah, we were the maroon and gold.
I will say,
Okay.
by the way, Lucas, in Rocket League, you've set like our colors to blue and yellow. It's the worst looking car you could possibly get when you get on a team where it's just your
You're
team
welcome.
colors.
Yeah.
I have like bright yellow flames. I'm like, I can't even look at my own car here.
Blinded by the light.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my bad. I didn't think about that one before doing it. We might consider changing that up from time to time.
Proxy vote.
Yep.
All right. So, favorite class?
Study hall? Is that
Recess?
can I-
Lunch.
They gave you recess?
Lunch. Sports
Actually, let's
history.
Let's hold
was a
off on
class I
lunch.
took.
Okay.
There's a lot to talk about lunch.
Yep.
Okay, sports history. Travel West Virginia was my favorite class. We went on
That
a
was a
field trip.
class.
That was a class. And I took it my senior year. Instead of taking calculus and getting college credit, I took Travel West Virginia so that I could go on a ski trip, go visit an abandoned prison, go on field trips.
What did you
like
guys
once a
learn
month.
though? You just went on
We
trips?
learned the counties. We learned the history of our state, formed in 1863, thanks to the Civil War.
So
We
a
wanted to be
blow-off
on the
class,
winning
basically.
side. That is correct.
Those are the best.
It went right along with my teacher's assistant class, my principal's assistant class, my library class, where I just put books away and talked about Harry Potter with the librarian, who was also a witch. Yeah, so
Like an actual like Wiccan witch? Or
Wiccan witch. Yeah,
Wow.
that's why I didn't read Harry Potter at first, because I thought she was like trying to convert me, and I was like, well, I don't really want to read this. Then if you're gonna like try to put a spell on me.
Goodness.
I mean,
Yeah.
she wore necklaces and stuff and like talked like she was a Wiccan. I don't know if she was an actual Wiccan, but she played the
we
part.
talked about that before, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Yeah. I think my favorite classes were my math classes. Those were a breeze.
Nerd alert.
Yeah.
Numbers.
that
Oh, look.
explains a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yes, and guess what? My worst subject was language arts.
Oops. What
Yes,
That sounds about right.
I don't know how.
Not
I don't.
bad.
I don't know how to read. I don't know how to type. I don't know how to write.
I don't write them words.
It's all good.
Give me something graphical. Give me some numbers. I'll whip it up.
Give me
Mm,
some
people
movies
crunch
of
them.
any kind.
Movies.
Oh, those are the best classes when they're like, "Hey, in history class, to this today we're gonna watch The Patriot." I'm like,
Yeah, for the next 3
Yes.
days, we're going through this. Like, this
Yes.
is gonna be great.
Exactly. It's perfect.
if I do.
What about you, Mark?
So, our school was known probably for two major things. Number one was that we were technically a vocational school. We had a whole vocational wing where you could learn different trades and things like that. Like a machinist trade, like automotive and horticulture and things like that. We actually have a barn connected to our high school. And living not too far from the school, you could smell the manure, the plop, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
From
Plop high.
That's like Lucas's house right now.
Oh, the Plop High Broncos.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
we had cows and everything like that. But
Yep.
the other thing that we were known for is being about the arts. And so that was my favorite class. Specifically, a lot of the music classes that I took.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because in high school, I can't talk about my high school years without talking about I was in a select. It was like a tryout choir group. It's called the B Naturals, and I was in that from sophomore to senior year, and we basically would travel around the state doing different events and things like that, where we'd sing at like the state house and things like that. And we also had like concerts that we would do at the school and things like that. We had a big event that we'd do every year. It's called Cabaret. And it was like this big themed event where it was like a 2-hour thing with, all the choirs and the band and things like that. So classes like specifically with the B Naturals and all that were an amazing time for me. I absolutely loved those classes. Also, kind of an honorable mention, our school had a history of rock and roll class, and I absolutely
Sweet.
loved that. And it was
That's
taught.
cool.
It was taught by my favorite teacher, and that'll bring us into the next question.
But hold on,
Bruce
before we go
Springsteen.
into that, I gotta know: was this choir a show choir?
Yeah,
That's
basically.
what I wanted to know. Like,
So you were dancing while you were singing?
Oh, dancing. We're a bunch of white kids.
Well,
Shuffling.
okay.
Um,
I think this was it today. You have put a picture up of you in high school playing the guitar. I need you to put up a video of you dancing.
Yeah,
and
we need to
singing.
see one of your
We need to see that.
Be Natural
No, you don't.
performances.
We
Yes,
need to see
do.
the Be Natural in the heyday.
Put on
Yeah,
just
so-
put on the outfit now and we can do it for Cisco
Yeah,
and
you get behind
have
this
them
cause.
film it.
Oh, we're
I
doing a
can get behind
reunion
this.
show. Let's go.
Yeah,
Oh, there
baby.
were outfits like
Oh yeah, there's
coordinated
always
outfits.
outfits. There's always outfits.
Because actually I remember my freshman year when I was in the general choir. We did a Lion King medley, and that was right when the Broadway version of Lion King was out. I definitely was a giraffe.
Yes.
I need to see this.
And
These would be awesome pictures, all of them.
They would have to be.
the funny thing is, like, I had like a scar
Hold
on
on.
my
The funny thing, this is already great.
This
Yeah.
whole thing
Like,
was
what do you mean? Yeah, there's no a
continuing
funny
on
thing.
on the path of funny. I actually had like a scar because when I was in high school I had really bad acne. It was like cystic
Right.
acne.
Yeah.
So that was not a fun time.
Yeah.
But I had bled on my giraffe costume. And so
Oh my.
and so my mom had to try to wash that and try to get it out. Well, it was hanging in the bathroom, and my mother, unfortunately, is a horrible was a horrible chain smoker. She's not anymore, but she was a horrible chain smoker, and the shirt, the part of the costume, was hanging in the like on the shower curtain in the bathroom, and she would go in the bathroom and smoke a cigarette, and
Oh no.
and so you can imagine wet shirt smelling like cigarette smoke.
He smelled like the Marlboro Man.
And here
Dressed
I am,
up as a giraffe.
You were like Joe Camel, but you were just Joe Giraffe.
Yep.
Joe Giraffe. Jeffrey Giraffe from Toys R Us when he gets laid off.
Sounds
In
like
the
an
later
old,
years.
sounds like an Old Spice commercial.
I'm out of work.
Here I am, hanging out, smoking my cigarette.
But no, yeah, there were definitely different costumes, especially like we did. It was kind of sort of a spin-off of the Be Naturals group. We did a special like doo-wop group, like we did a 4-piece quartet, and we did like those old school like doo-wop songs like Duke of Earl and some like Temptations
yes.
stuff. And,
We're gonna need to hear that. I don't think people
there's
know
video.
what Duke of Earl is.
you don't know what Duke of Earl is?
No, I need to
I
hear
do
it.
actually.
Duke of Earl, Duke of Earl.
Yeah,
Okay,
good stuff.
nice.
Classic doo-wop stuff. And we had one of the guys' moms. She would make the outfits for us,
Oh,
and we were definitely
nice.
coordinated. There were some interesting ones, for sure. But
Did you have like the red and white like pinstripes?
We sure did.
Yes, you did.
We
Nice.
sure did.
That's so awesome.
I'll have to dig them out and post them on Twitter and things like that. As much as like I was thinking about that today, I was like, do I really want to share that?
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
You have no option now. You shared it, so now you have to see it through.
I suppose. But yeah, those were my favorite times. Was and obviously with my love of music and
Yeah.
playing and singing and all that, like that was just a fun time, doing all that kind of stuff. And obviously my favorite teacher in high school was our choir teacher, who was also the history of rock music teacher. Her name is Mrs. Candace Freiborg. And she was absolutely amazing. She actually retired the same year that I graduated from high school. So it was like she graduated with us. But she was phenomenal. She was always able to relate well to all the kids and share her love of music. And so I always carry that with me.
Yeah.
We're still friends on Facebook, so we still talk to each other from time to time. So favorite teacher, high school teachers, or teacher one if you only have one. Or if you don't have any at all, that's okay.
Mine was Mr. Wellage. He was the history teacher, and he pretty much let us get away with just every single thing.
Nice.
We even super glued a quarter to the floor while he was not in the room. We like did it on the way to his desk and everything. So we knew he would stop and pick it up. So as soon as he
Or at
comes
least
in there,
try.
everybody's quiet. And he's one of those older guys. So when he like bends over, he then like hunches his pants up also, like around the knees. So he bends over, does his little hunch, and then goes and swipes for it and misses it and goes back for it 2 more times. Like by the time he stood up, his face was bloodshot red. And he realized after like the 3rd swipe, he's like, you guys, like just walked to his desk. Didn't even care that it was super glued to the floor.
I mean, what can you do at that point?
I don't know how you get it up. I did the same thing to my stepdad in our barn. It's still there.
Really?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure
I mean,
there's a
I was
solvent.
like a junior in high school when I did that.
There's got to be a solvent you can just soak
Yeah, I
it
don't
in
know.
to get it to release. But
Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of equipment. I'm sure he could get it out if he wanted to, but he doesn't care
Yeah.
either.
it's a memory.
Yep.
I don't know if I had a favorite high school teacher. One of my favorite teachers in general were subs, and specifically from the football team, because whenever the football coaches were the subs, it was the best.
Free for all.
That was the best.
What class is this now?
Yeah.
It doesn't
you
matter
said
because
you need
you're
to do
already
this,
like
but do
cooler than
whatever.
everybody else in there.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I already know you. I know you.
It's like a
like
party
that-
in there. There's no rules in there anymore.
Yeah. He's like that guy he's always on sitcoms. He's like, all right, guys, this is what we're going to do. Just sit there and don't make a bunch of noise, okay?
You got
Joe
an
from
hour
Family
with
Guy.
this person.
All right,
Yeah,
everyone been playing a round of
Let's do
euchre.
this.
Play some Texas Hold'em.
Yeah. My favorite teachers were definitely like you, Mark. I had a choir teacher. I did not do the show choir, mainly because my parents gave me the ultimatum that I either be more involved in church stuff or do the show choir. And because at the time, I was a pretty young Christian, but I really was involved in my church. And so I wanted to focus on that. I was actually in a traveling choir with my church that I think I've mentioned before, but we traveled like once or twice a month. We'd go to different churches and I really traveled West Virginia at that time and got to know a bunch of people throughout the state, which was really cool. But at school, I never got to join the show choir, but all my friends were in the show choir. So I would hang out with them and still get to see some of the stuff they did. And part of me was like kind of regretted not doing it. Then another part of me is like, I'm really white. It's better that I did not do that. Cause I know I can sing, but man, the dancing and coordination, like rubbing your tummy, patting your head.
Yeah.
That would have been bad. And they did a good job. Like they were a bunch of West Virginia, white kids as it were, as you mentioned, Mark, but they knew how to dance. Like they had the leader of the group, they were called the Entertainers. He flew a guy from New York that was
Like
a
a
friend of
step
his.
up group.
No, they were good. Like the Entertainers director, he would fly in a choreographer from New York City, like Broadway guy.
Ooh,
That was a
serious
friend.
stuff.
Yeah, it was serious. And they did like a boot camp at the beginning of every school year that set them up for their performance throughout the year. And they did an incredible show. But one thing that I got to do with, choir teacher, with the drama teacher, was I got to be in a play my senior year, which was really cool, where I was one of the leads in A Midsummer Night's Dream. I don't even remember the character's name, but it's the one that turns into a donkey at some point. And there's definitely a picture out there floating around of me dressed up like a donkey, like big buck teeth, big, huge donkey ears, like just looking like a big, donkey. So that was really cool. But my choir teacher, she was the best. She was snarky. Like she did not take any crap from nobody. And she was fun at the same time. You could tell she cared. She really challenged us with music, and I learned a lot about singing from her. And actually, she passed away earlier this year. She lost her battle to cancer. So the Lord be with I pray she's with the Lord. Christine Schultz, a great lady, Ms. Schultz. She always had Peanuts comic strips up in her office because of the last name Schultz, and always had just a connection to that, and that little comic strip and cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
The other one that I really liked was I'm blanking on his name, Mr. Nope, it's gone.
I'm halfway there.
Yeah, I'm halfway there. I'm close. I know it's a Mr. Kelly. There it is.
Hey, we got that.
Hey-oh. He was a teacher, and some of my favorite teachers throughout all my high school, college career were the ones that always mixed academics with stories. Like they always did a little bit of both. And sometimes it would get us away from the content itself. But in his class, he would tell stories. He lived in Alaska. He was in Anchorage, Alaska, when that huge earthquake hit back in the 80s. I think it was early 80s. That big 7 or 8 on the Richter scale, huge earthquake that just totally brought the city of Anchorage apart. It's crazy. If you Google it, just Google Anchorage earthquake and it'll pop up with a bunch of photos. He was there during that earthquake, and he tells all kinds of stories from living in Alaska, traveling the world. He was a really cool guy, and he was really good at making science interesting. I mean, science interesting anyways, but he just made it come alive. So He was the other teacher that I liked a lot.
Awesome. Awesome. Here's a few more joiner comments. Corey Fouch says, my favorite memory from high school, and we'll get to favorite memories in just a moment, but my favorite memory from high school was playing basketball and winning the tournament we played in yearly. Won it on a last-second shot. Until that point, we were the perennial bottom team, so they were the underdogs.
Nice.
That's awesome. It was glorious.
Nice.
Good on you, Corey Fouch. Bagheera, one of our newer members on
Hey, Victor.
on Discord, Victor
My
B.
Brazilian brother.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'd have to say Spirit Week and homecoming games. Playing in the high school band for those games was a whole different level of excitement. The whole town was present and cheering. We had to play some songs by memory, and the halftime show was ours. Spirit Week just gave everyone an opportunity to get to know people and teachers a bit better, as not all activities, were grade-based, so it was lighter and more fun. Was a good way to close off the school year. Yeah, our Spirit Week, like I took part in some of our Spirit Week stuff. Like they had a theme for each day. Like I think one was like superhero day or fictional character day, and one was like pajama day. And
Even we were waiting for that superhero day every year, weren't you?
absolutely.
With the Batman stuff.
He had his huge winter coat and his Batman mask ready to go.
That's a nice pull
It's
there.
like, I got this. Let's go.
Yep. With the crappy plastic Batman mask. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, I participated, but there were like certain events that we did. Like each class did what they, even though it wasn't really a video, it was more like a skit. Each class did like a skit, but they called it video night for some reason. And you basically, there were several activities that the different classes could be part of. And at the end of the week, they would they would tally up points, and they would, declare a winner. Freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors, and most of the time, like the seniors won. And so, but I never really was a part of that. It's not something I was into. But for the most part, Spirit Week was fun. We never had homecoming. That was not a thing.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man.
They do
This is
now.
Out.
They have it now, but when I was in high school, they did not have homecoming games.
That was one of my favorite weeks, and that in fact that reminds me more of Spirit Week and the stuff that Bagheera and you're talking about, Mark, where we had that all happen in earlier part of the year.
Yeah.
Where we would have homecoming. I think at least 3 out of the 4 years I was in high school, I was an escort for a friend. It wasn't normally a girlfriend or anything, just a friend of mine.
Yeah.
That where you have the homecoming queen and then you have the homecoming court, where they're just like the lower classmen, not seniors. I did that most years, but I love Spirit Week, homecoming week. We did the thing where I remember the one year we beat the seniors. We were like juniors, I think, and we beat the juniors with the points. Like they had points throughout the Spirit Week, and we made at the end it was like decided by the float. Like each of us made like a float, like in you put behind a truck, not like a ice cream float or a, I don't know if there's any other kind of floats, but we did a float, made it, and it was awesome. It didn't help the seniors that they made like a gratuitous, like violent Bearcat float where there was like blood all over the place and the cougar had like ripped in half the opponent. Like it was actually pretty cool, but the teachers were the judges. They didn't like that.
Play to the judges.
So, yeah, you got to play to the judges. And I mean, we were smart juniors and we beat them, and it was like, that was like
Big
winning
time.
the state championship. That was big time winning
Nice.
Spirit Week.
Yeah. Awesome. You done messed up, Aaron.
Hey,
He says, I have mixed memories of high school, but Spirit Week and pep rallies were always kind of fun. I remember one time my sophomore year, we got so nuts at the end that our teachers basically closed most of us in a hallway for 10 minutes just so we could get the chanting out of our system. Nice. And finally, Rogue Hoffa says, it's funny because here we don't have big relation with sports, so we don't have like basketball or anything similar to that in high school. One of my favorite memories was going abroad to Spain our last year. That's pretty cool for high school.
Nice.
Without parents. It was crazy days. Man, you couldn't fall asleep or something would happen to you. That was the perfect excuse to sleep in the girls' room. What?
Whoa.
Wait, hold on. Whoa. What?
After hours.
What?
Here we go. Saving that for the end. Hoffa, we need more details here.
He says, I definitely preferred high school to college. I wonder why.
Golly. All right.
Even though I ended taking computer science, my favorite degrees were philosophy and psychology. Okay.
And purpling.
Yeah.
I was waiting for another punchline at the end of that. That was awesome.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
So that was the
What high school is this?
Oh, my gosh.
The mascot was the Purple Dragons.
So did you guys, like, in your senior years, did you guys have, like, a senior prank or anything like that?
Yeah, we did, but I honestly don't even remember what ours was.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't remember
remember
either.
Ours was lame.
I think they greased up a pig and let him free in the hallway.
Nice.
My school's in the middle of nowhere.
That sounds like something my high school would do too.
I think ours was like, I think somebody went in with like a bunch of like cellophane and just like wrapped everything. Like the library was like covered in it, the hallways, like all the lockers were covered in it. And of course, haha, funny for like 10 minutes, and then of course the janitor has to come in and clean that up. So
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Poor guy.
I think actually the previous year's senior prank was better, because they had somehow broken into the principal's office and stolen his high school photo, which is a gem. It's an absolute gem, because of the fact that the high school principal at the time, he's basically on the top of his head, he's completely bald. He just had one of those ones that's like on the sides.
The Hulk Hogan look?
Yeah, basically. Except minus the mullet. He just had the shorter version of that.
Okay.
But yeah, he was
Like
balding
a Friar
on the top of
Tuck.
his,
The George Costanza.
yeah,
Or
basically.
the
Yeah.
George Costanza,
Yes.
yeah.
And in his high school days, he was already starting to deal with that, and so he had long hair, but on the top, everything was like super combed over and weird looking. And so they had broken into his office, found that picture, and made copies of it and posted it everywhere. Like made a huge
done.
version of it, like had it all around.
That's
the school.
how you get suspended.
Yeah. But yeah, ours was kind of lame. But I will close with this. Do you have a particular favorite high school memory?
I have a few.
Okay.
I can roll through them. The Friday night football games in the student section was so much fun.
Yeah.
I always looked forward to that because it was me and like three other guys. We would always get there early, so we would be in the front row. And we did that sophomore. I don't think I did it as a freshman, but I did it as a sophomore, junior, and senior. And usually, like the seniors got the front row, but we got there early, and we had the most school spirit. I think in high school they give those superlative awards.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the running for most school spirit behind a couple other guys that were also usually in the front row. So we had that. I loved the Friday nights. The other one was I was a part of an organization at the time. It was called Teens in Action, but I think it's more widely known as SAD, Students Against Destructive Decisions. And we would go to elementary schools around the area, and we would put on skits and talk to kids from 1st to 5th grade about drugs. And we would make it like a lighthearted thing where we would have a good time and skits and just basically say don't do drugs. So that was I loved doing that.
Yeah.
But the last thing was after the Friday night football games, we would go over to my buddy Chris Pennington's house every Friday night for a party.
Nice.
And that's basically where I had met my now wife.
Hey.
Yeah. So big memory there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nice.
We had a similar setup on Friday nights since I played, like, and just to get you an idea, like the school Patrick went to, big school, very good at football every single year. The school I went to, we had 15 varsity players and 11 have to be on the field all the time. So it was 4 guys dressed up standing next to like 4 coaches. It was bizarre. And we were awful, obviously. But even being awful, like there was something in high school just about like Friday nights. Like it was just the main event. Like everybody was going, you know what I mean? Like it was just fun. Like obviously the worst part was actually getting beat for 3 hours of football. But like after that, we would always have a party somewhere and go hang out with everybody. It was just really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I agree too that there was something about the Friday night football get together. You watch the game. I wasn't on the sports side of things. I was not up for the superlative of most school spirit. But I just liked the hang. Like half of it was watching the football game at some point, beginning, end, maybe in the middle. And then the other part was just walking around, hanging out with friends. I just have a lot of memories of just getting to know people in my class, getting to know people in other grades. Of course, there was like bullying and, school politics and, freshmen and like going against juniors or like people being all like, oh, what are you doing? Like wanting to fight each other. But I didn't usually hang out with that kind of crowd. So we were pretty cool. Just hung out and talked and that kind of stuff. And then I want to say later on, like my probably the highlight throughout my high school career was being a bit of a chameleon in a good way. Like I would hang out with the jocks, I would hang out with the nerds, I would hang out with, there wasn't a group of people that I didn't, and like I was alive back in the day when those like cliques and those movie like stereotypes, they were real. Like they existed. Like
there were gangs in the 1950s, weren't there?
There were gangs. There were guns. There were the coppers were like coming out of nowhere and just like, what are you doing, coppers? What are you get away from us? We were running away. Hair. Yeah, but it was just cool to like. I remember one time like I think he wasn't the captain of the football team, but he was a kid that like nobody messed with and nobody really talked to. He was like a guy of like few words, and he was a scary dude. And his name was Mike. And I remember one
Mikes
time.
are usually always scary.
There's Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
this Mike, clearly.
This Mike. And I remember him, like, when the principal needed you for something, like our intercom system didn't work half the time. And he came and got me and said, hey, Lucas, the principal needs to see you. And I'm like, okay. And I don't remember what it was about, but I remember walking down the hall with him. Like it was really awkward. Like he was like my muscle escort. And I don't remember what came up. And we were just, all of a sudden he started talking to me and he's like, you know what? You're a really cool dude. And I'm like, what? Like, I didn't even know, like I'd never talked to him in my life. And like it just, and that was it. And like, I don't know, like it was weird. Like I was never a part of the, like, what I would consider the cool class, because I was a part of like Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I wasn't an athlete, but I was like the president of FCA by my junior year. And like we would do devotions on Wednesday mornings. We did like the See at the Pole, just kind of trying to be like, that's where I first felt like I could be a pastor, as it were, to be a spiritual leader to people. And so kind of being in the midst of, it was different once I went to college and I went to a Christian school, and where it's like everybody's, doing their devotions and talking about Jesus, and being in the midst of like a good mix of people, like everyone from like really, I guess really like church going people, and then people who couldn't care less about God and faith. And like being in the midst of that was really challenging and just a blessing. I really had a great experience with that. And so, I would say it was that journey, that part of the journey that was really a good challenge and really prepared me for being an adult later on.
Nice.
in life. So
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, unfortunately, my walk with God didn't really become strengthened until college. So unfortunately, I mean, I was still going to church, but my relationship with Christ wasn't really where it needed to be at that point. But my favorite memories of high school are, first of all, those cabarets. You know, we did multiple performances in a weekend. It was like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. Like some days, like more, like 2 or 3 performances a day, and just the excitement of like just having to do almost like that Broadway type of thing where you're having to do like costume changes and things like that, and just being able to do fun music like that, and do this big production. It was always the highlight of every school year, at least for me. And the other major memory was it was the first time I got to go to New York City. Was my senior year of high school. We went. It was basically the choral trip to New York, and I got to experience what I had seen on television and in movies and pictures. I got to actually see it up close. Granted, I didn't get to go everywhere I wanted to go because we only had a day to do it. But yeah, so I absolutely loved being able to experience that and experience it with my high school friends, especially ones that were kind of like-minded. I guess it was kind of sort of a clique, but it was just friends that had a shared interest, and it was good to have that, especially when you're in high school, when you're really trying to find yourself. And you know what type of person you really are and want to be, and there's a lot of confusion. It was good to have that like-mindedness, and to share it in a place like New York City, which is very arts-minded, and entertainment-minded, was just a lot of fun to experience. So those were my 2 major memories, I think. But yeah. So I think that's about it for me. Anybody else have any final thoughts before we close the door on high school?
If I could go back to any time of my life, it would be back to high school. High school was so awesome.
Yeah.
I could relive it again.
There were definitely some highs and some major lows for high school for me, but I absolutely loved the good parts of it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah,
for sure.
That's about it.
Alrighty then. Well, as we wrap up our walk down high school lane, some last minute housekeeping, as is tradition, where we offer towels, fluff pillows, toss some Andy's candies your way, and tip you off to the GMG news you need to know. Every Saturday, as Marc said, he is streaming a GMG Vrotom game in the month of April. I also, who knows, this week is still locked down with my family. I'm trying to stream from time to time, of course. I mean, especially because our GMG YouTube channel crossed 100 subs, so we got to represent.
Woo!
Woo! But if you don't feel like watching a stream, you can also play some games with us this coming Thursday, the first Thursday of every month, actually. AKA the third day of the week, Monday, 1 day, Tuesday, 2 day, Wednesday, what day, Thursday, the third day, at the beginning of every month. We are going to be playing Jackbox. So we will be having a GMG game night. Hopefully we'll be having some MTTG community friends and Infinity Bros joining us as well. Have a big old crossover playing Jackbox. So we hope you can join us there. Also, of course, as always, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, and Stitcher. You can connect with us on Discord and Twitter. All the links and info are in the show notes. And then finally, if you want to give us a call, let your voice be heard, 929-GMG Guys. Speaking, of course, of what else should be heard, none other than Marc himself and his movie facts. What you got for us, brother?
Yeah, so we do have a couple of major things going on, or that happened, I should say, in movie history.
In movie history.
So March 30th, 1999, the movie 10 Things I Hate About You was released. Did you guys watch that?
Classic. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies.
There you go.
Nothing
Doesn't
like
crack
that.
the top 100 for me, but it's still good.
Yeah.
It's still a classic. When he goes down the stadium seats singing, what does he sing to Julia Stiles? I can't remember what he sings.
Can't take
but
my
it's-
eyes off of you.
Yeah, can't take my
No,
eyes
no,
off.
no. Have you ever seen the movie Not Another Teen Movie where he's singing Janie's got a gun?
Janie's got a gun!
She's got a gun, run!
Oh wow. That,
Yeah,
definitely
you're
not
just too
a
good to be true. Can't take
definitely
my
not a top
eyes
100 movie. Not another teen movie. That's awful.
off- Did not know that is a modern retelling of Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew.
Taming of the Shrew. That's correct. That
that's
was
a-
my intro to Heath Ledger. I'm
Yep.
pretty sure.
Yep,
No.
he definitely got better with acting. But
Not Another Teen Movie was my introduction to Captain America.
Chris Evans,
Get out of here. Get
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah, there's a little too much of him in that movie.
There definitely is.
Yeah. Never looked at cherries the same way.
Oh, jeez.
But anyway, so also shooting it further back, April 2nd, 1968, the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey debuted, which is considered a classic.
I just fell asleep. You
Yeah.
saying that title.
Yeah,
No, seriously. I've tried to watch that movie 3 times and fallen asleep every time.
yeah, it's like
Hello,
heavy
Michael.
symbolism. I can't let you do
How are
that.
you?
Al.
I can't let you do that.
Yeah,
Can't go there.
open the
no,
pod bay doors, Al. But yeah, here's something interesting. Actor birthdays this week. One of them has unfortunately passed on, but still we will celebrate his birthday. And it's interesting that Ewan McGregor and Sir Alec Guinness have birthdays in the same week, both of which
Nice.
played Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, hello there.
Mm.
Hello there. Vince Vaughn also celebrates a birthday this week, as well as Eddie Murphy. And that is it for me.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
All right, guys. To go along with Mark's glorious movie facts, we are continuing to collect the top 100 movies for our GMG MAFT 100. What would you gentlemen like to add to the list? Starting with Ronnie, who has 2 entries today.
I do have 2 entries. However, I have no idea what I've posted so far.
Great. Well,
Okay.
But has anybody went with anything Avengers yet?
I don't think so.
nope. Lay it on us.
It's coming out eventually, but I'm going to go ahead and put Infinity War and Endgame both on.
Yes.
All right. Nice.
Because
Perfect.
they legitimately are some of the best movies I've ever seen. I could
Yep.
watch either of them anytime.
Any dime, any day, anywhere,
Anyway.
any. What else is there? Why? Any why? No, you can't do that.
No.
Any what? Anyhow? No. Okay. I ran out of words.
Pat, are you currently adding stuff to the list right now?
I sure am.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I looked and Endgame was on the list. So I just want to,
No, just
wanted to
added
make
it.
sure.
Yep.
All right. Who else wants to go?
I'll go.
Oh.
Oh, before you go
No.
ahead. Oh, wait. Before I go ahead, you go ahead.
I was like, yeah, that thing. Go ahead.
I didn't say that right whatsoever.
I'm gonna go on the high school train, and I'm gonna say Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Nice.
A fine
Rooney?
choice.
Don't
Nice.
mock me.
9 times. 9 times.
Bueller. For me, I'm going to go with Spider-Man 2. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2.
Okay. Nice. Doc Ock.
Yep.
Is that your final answer?
It is my final answer.
Just don't you dare say Spider-Man 3. I'm
I
going
will
to
absolutely
give it
not say Spider-Man.
negative 100 points.
Veto.
No, I really love.
Ugh.
To me, that was. I enjoyed that more than the first Spider-Man.
Yep.
But
Agreed.
I do enjoy Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man for sure.
Yeah. And that's why Spider-Man 3 is so bad because
Yep.
they were so high in the sky with
Oh, how
Spider-Man
the
2.
mighty have fallen.
Yeah. All right. That's a good choice. Spider-Man 2. My choice is going to be Avatar, the land of the blue people.
The Navi.
Pandora. I love that
All
movie.
right.
My
Nice.
first HD TV Blu-ray owned film.
I feel like you're really missing out though if you don't see that in like the 3D like they originally released.
I did.
That.
I did it 3 times.
Nice.
I have it seared into my memory.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
Good. All right. Pat, Mark, and you beautiful man, you, Ronnie J. Along with you, our beloved friends, family, and joiners. Go get your good morning this week. And may God bless and guide your lives as you live, as you work, and as you game.